Hello, I'm Tina from Josh's Frogs. I'm the plant mom, and along with myself and Annette, we grow all the plants here at Josh's Frogs. Today we're going to learn how to pot a house plant, and this is a Ficus ollie, and the supplies that we're going to need will be a pot, of course your plant, a really good quality potting soil. Never use topsoil. That's not the right thing to plant house plants in. You want a really good, well-drained potting soil you can get at your local big box store. Make sure it's for house plants. And also, if you have a pot, the pot will generally have holes in the bottom. You want to have something to cover the holes so you don't lose all your soil. So you can either use a little bit of this landscape fabric I cut, or if you have any broken pieces of a terracotta pot, and as a gardener we all have some of those laying around, you can cover the holes with that. The main purpose of that is just to keep the soil from running out when you water. So our first step is you want to pick a pot that is appropriate for the size house plant you're using. This house plant is in a 3.5 to 4 inch pot, so I'm going to choose a pot that's not too much bigger, and that's really important because you really shouldn't plant your plant in a huge pot. If it's this size, you should only go probably 1 to 2 sizes larger, which is probably 1 inch or 2 inches larger in diameter than the original pot you're planting from. So the first thing we're going to do, as you can see, I've placed the landscape fabric over the holes in the bottom of our pot. I'm going to put some topsoil in, and kind of put your pot in or hold it next to it and see how much topsoil you want to put in. Because when you're finished planting, you want to keep the same level of dirt in your new pot as the plant came from in the old pot. You never want to fill more dirt up or have less dirt and have your plant sticking up. That's just not good for the plant. So we're going to kind of eyeball it and see how much I have to build up in here. You can kind of get an idea. It's not an exact science. Put my pot in, I think that's about good. So now I'm going to take my Ficus ollie out of my pot, squeeze your pot a little bit to loosen up the root ball, gently grab the plant, and flip it over. Of course, you're going to make a mess, so you might want to lay something down. And here's my plant. Now this plant looks pretty good. It's not root bound at all. But of course, when you buy plants in the store, sometimes you'll get them and they're root bound, and what that simply means is that the root has grown in the pot and it goes around and around and around, and it's really tight. That's not good for your plant to be like that. So before you put it into the new pot, you want to make sure that you loosen up the soil and pull the roots out. Even though this plant doesn't need it, I want to demonstrate how you would do that. So just loosen up the soil a little bit, loosen up the roots, don't be afraid. If it's a huge amount of roots around in a tight circle, you really want to be a little aggressive with it and loosen those roots really well, or else the roots will keep growing in a circle in the pot and they won't start spreading out, enjoying the new soil you put in the pot. So we have a lot of dirt shaken off of here, and the roots look good and loose. This is a really good plant. We're going to put it in here, just hold it, put a little topsoil, or not topsoil, no topsoil ever. Put a little potting soil under it. Make sure that you raise the level of the plant so it'll remain the same level as it came out of its pot. And we're going to work some dirt around it and gently hold your plant. Push your dirt down. I mean, don't pack it so it's rock solid and it turns into a hard mass when you water it, but you know, use a gentle hand, but pack it in there somewhat. You want to have a little looseness so the air can get to the roots. Don't pile the dirt too high on the stem, because that'll make the stem rot. So that looks pretty good about there. And of course, as you water, the dirt will settle down more and more. So now we're going to add a little water to our dirt. Move this out of the way. Water your plant really good. The first time is called watering in. Give it a really good drink. Just like that. And some pots have little saucers that it comes with on the bottom to prevent the water from running out. I don't have one on this pot because it's for demonstration purposes only, but you might want to put something underneath your pot to prevent water from soaking all over your coffee table or your carpet. That probably wouldn't be good. And then just pack in your dirt. If you see that the dirt settled down, just add a little bit more. I think we're looking pretty good here. Now as my plant grows and it looks like it needs to be repotted and it's outgrowing the pot it's in, again, don't forget, take it up 1 to 2 sizes. Don't get a giant pot for a little plant. Plants kind of like to have their roots snug, so go up an inch or 2 just to the next size pot. And that's how you pot a house plant. Any questions about growing house plants or any questions about plants, you can contact us at joshsfrogs.com. We have a wide variety of plants for vivariums, terrariums, fairy gardens, and we also have a wide selection of house plants, which are about this size or larger. Again, if you have any questions, you can contact us at joshsfrogs.com. All of our plants are grown organically, and they're perfectly safe for pets and for people.